Well, I'm not going to do much of a review, go match after match or anything, but I do want to say that I did do something that a lot of people pretty much, even Delexman's kind of surprised anybody would even attempt to do, and that's watch both Evolve 131 and AEW's Fight for the Fallen. The way I did it is, right here on my computer, I watched Evolve 131. On my television over there, I watched AEW Fight for the Fallen through my Roku device. Now, both shows were good. Although I will be in agreement, when I watched the pre-show, the buy-in for Fight for the Fallen, I will agree that having the captions just appear out of nowhere on your television screen is not the best thing to do. I mean, I thought, honestly, what did I do? Hit caption or something? What happened? So I checked. Nothing. It was on AEW's part. My only assumption is somebody behind the scenes hit a button wrong and just, tried to fix it and everything, but they couldn't. Now, the other thing I could probably think is maybe it's an opinion, I could be wrong. Someone behind the scenes brought their kid to work and the kid started messing with some buttons and going like, ooh, what's beep, 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 and kind of screwed things up at the wrong time. Overall, with that mistake out of the way, the buy-in was okay. The buy-in was alright. I will admit that maybe what AEW has to do when it comes to bringing in some of the international women is try to make sure they are distinguished, especially when you team them up with women from North America or the UK or whatever. All due respect when I say that, all due respect, because Britt Baker and Brie Presley, if they can get confused easily as to who the partners are, that's not a good sign. So what needs to be done, and hopefully, and I say this with all due respect, hopefully they'll be able to figure something out to where the women, the international women from Japan, China, wherever, can be established, differently from each other. Basically established in a way to where even if they work for the same promotion or they don't, they're not seen as identical. I mean, I think, what was it, her name, Rio? I think her having the tail would have helped out, but apparently it didn't. So anyway, besides that though, getting to the main card, again, as I was watching both shows, I noticed something, and I mentioned this here in a quick video that I did here on my phone. I mentioned this, but it seemed to me that during certain parts of the shows, of both shows, they were doing similar matches. For example, Evolve 131, one of the opening matches was a women's no-holds-barred match, or no disqualification match. It was Shizzy Blackheart Shizzo Blackheart, I think that's her name, against Brandy Lauren. And on the other hand, you had Brandy Rhodes versus Allie at Fight for the Fallen. Now here's what's interesting. Brandy Rhodes has Kong come out as soon as her and Bayley get ready to lock up or shake hands. Not Bayley, but Allie, I should say. As soon as her and Allie shake hands, that's when Kong's music hits. So Kong comes out to kind of aid her, if you will, kind of be in a corner, be a distraction. Evolve 131 has this Russian babe, I can't think of her name, come out and help Brandy Lauren for a bit. And I looked at that, and I'm thinking, there's something going on here. Something just seems a little fishy. And if that's not enough to really clue you in, later on, when Evolve 131 had the Catch Point reunion match between Matt Riddle and Drew Gulak, what did AEW counter with? Or have on the same time? Hangman Adam Page versus Kip Sabian. Both matches were good. Both matches were good. Both matches went back and forth. And both matches were featured and promoted heavily for their events. And they were both on at the same time. You can't tell me that's not a coincidence that one match has one of the participants in the AEW World Title match at All Out competing against potentially an AEW World Title contender. And on the other hand, you have at Evolve 131 Drew Gulak versus Matt Riddle, and Drew Gulak is Cruiserweight Champion of WWE. So you can't tell me both companies didn't know what they were doing. They even had, get this, and this is what's crazy. When they had the Evolve 131 Tag Team Championship match, or the Evolve Tag Team Championship match, with AR Fox and Leon Ruff against The Unwanted, at the same time, we had a triple threat tag team match with the Dark Order, Angelico and Jack Evans, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, with the winner going on to face the Best Friends at All Out for a chance at a bye in the tag team tournament. Both having tag team championship implications. You can't tell me that wasn't a coincidence. Point is, I'm going to put it like this. I'll put it like this. Someone at Evolve, someone from AEW obviously was backstage at Evolve feeding information to AEW. Or someone from Evolve and WWE was backstage at AEW feeding information to Evolve. Because you had Chris Jericho come out later on in the night, live mic, unscripted, and a little before that, at Evolve 131, you had Paul Heyman. I'm just saying. They knew what they were doing. Someone, if not both sides, had someone on the inside letting them know what was going on. And here's the thing. People could come out and defend the fact that, AEW didn't have somebody backstage at 131, at Evolve 131. Evolve and WWE didn't have someone backstage at AEW Fight for the Fallen. Let me tell you something. Myself, the Schleg Daddy, who I'm currently watching his AEW Fight for the Fallen review of OTR Essential. Guys like us, we've been around the block. We've lived and seen. We've lived long enough and seen the Monday Night Wars. We've seen what WWE and WCW do to try to outdo the other, try to best the other, try to prove they're better. So if you come out and you say AEW would not do something like that, Evolve would not allow something like that to happen, someone going behind the scenes at AEW to let them know, okay, AEW is doing this, so do this. Or AEW doing the same thing, like, okay, Evolve and WWE are going to do this, you do this. You can't tell me for 1 second something wasn't going on behind the scenes, that someone from All Elite Wrestling wasn't in attendance or behind the scenes at Evolve 131 calling up and saying, okay, they're going to do this match or looking at the match setup and telling them, okay, they got this match scheduled, you put this match on at this time. You can't tell me that, because I believe there was something going on between the two companies. Something going on where you had, like I said, you had Matt Riddle against Drew Gulak, and to counter that, AEW had Hangman Page and Kip Sabian. You had the Evolve Tag Team Championship, the Unwanted, against AR Fox and Leon Ruff. And to counter that, you had the Triple Threat Tag Team match where the winner faces the Best Friends for a bye in the Tag Team Championship tournament at All Out. You can't tell me there wasn't something going on. You had a match both women matches on at the same time, two of the participants in those matches by the name of Brandy, you can't tell me something wasn't going on behind the scenes. You can't tell me that, because there is. And if that isn't an example of competition and a war starting, I don't know what is. But for me, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed myself going back and forth from the computer to the TV, TV to the computer. Here's the thing. For me, that was a first timer. That was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I've never done it when I lived on my own, because I didn't have two TVs to do it with, connected to cable. I didn't have that. I didn't have the streaming services and stuff we do now. I had to go back and forth with the channel changer. I never ever, and I know everybody else feels the same way, never ever had that opportunity where I could go from here, here's one wrestling promotion, over here, here's another. It's the first time I ever did that. I think actually it's not the first time I've ever done that, but it's one of the first. I think it's the second time I've done that. Second time, because I believe one time I had an event here on the computer, and on the other side I had something else from WWE. So it's not the first time, but it's one of the few rare times something like this happens. And if this is a taste of what's to come in the future between AEW and this rivalry with WWE, I cannot wait. But I thought I'd just come on here, let you know what I saw last night, how I was able to view both, and what, in my opinion, I think occurred behind the scenes. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I believe WWE sent someone from Evolve or WWE to go behind the scenes, find out what the match order was for Fight for the Fallen, and decided, okay, we're going to put these matches on to counter those matches. They didn't do it all the time, but it was like certain matches. Or you can't tell me that AEW didn't have somebody behind the scenes at the Evolve event looking down the match card and saying, okay, put these matches on to counter these matches. You can't tell me that's not what happened. So, just thought again I'd come on here and let you know from my point of view what I saw, how I saw it happening, and the fact that I enjoyed myself. I really felt like a wrestling fan once again, just going back and forth with both events. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think maybe both sides knew what the other was doing? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Talk to y'all later.